Hey, Hal.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I'm some sparklers in here watching you.
Oh, right on.
They're we got 40
yeah.
good people here. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, hi. Great show.
So much.
Awesome show. Everyone loved it. Everyone's been.
It's all. We're getting to the point where we're going to be able to set up and stream the shows and bring a thing with us, but we'll work on it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Well, every time you're here, I'm going to come by and watch you guys. Every single time.
Nice to see you in person.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Great seeing you. Decided to say hi and
Yeah.
and enjoyed the show. And
Yeah.
you guys are awesome, man.
Thanks.
Oh, everyone loves you. Everyone's just grooving to the band, man. And
Well,
Yeah.
Brett Michaels mentioned this.
you know what I was thinking? Like if you have a name, like a persona,
Yeah. Well,
instead of Hal Sparks. What do you have one for New Hurt for New Hair?
yeah, I started doing it as Waldo, because if you watch
Oh.
the Hot Teacher video, that's Waldo is the kid that gets picked on.
Oh yeah.
They show him like nobody knows what happened to Waldo, but he's wearing like a fur coat and surrounded by hot chicks. And he's still a 10-year-old boy, which is super fucking weird. He looks like Alfalfa.
Yeah.
When we started this, I was like, I'll be Waldo all grown up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking Sammy Lee Sparks.
That sounds like, I gotta say.
But it's almost too cool.
Yeah, it is.
That's too cool.
It sounds like a serial killer. Like from the South, specifically.
Yeah. Sammy Lee?
One of the lesser known. Yeah, right. But still,
Yeah.
He charted.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. He's only had one Dateline episode, but I think he deserves his own. He's the kind of guy who has to. Thank you so much.
Oh, hey, thank you, man.
Bye, Patty.
Oh, yeah. They're still hanging in there.
I know.
They're not leaving. Alrighty. I got to say hi to Summer. Hi, Summer. How you doing? I just I watch you on Facebook and YouTube, and big fan of Hal's, and so it's great to see you. I got sparklers in here, so and there's Caleb. Alrighty. Take care.
Oh boy. Thanks for Jackie said muted. Oh. Okay, as I was saying, I don't even know if I need to repeat what I said. All I was saying was good morning, basically. And I was just saying it's 9:20, well, at the time it was 9:11, now it's 9:18. So you had 7 minutes of beautiful, blissful mutation. Not a mutation, but anyhow, hopefully the sound is back on now. And I was just saying, hopefully I'm not stoned this morning. Maybe I am stoned still. I don't know. I was just saying how on the last show I think I was on some sort of THC edible hangover or something, because I had one before I went to bed the evening before, and I woke up all groggy, and I didn't really feel very well. But today I feel a lot better. So hopefully the sound is back on, and see if that's not Hal Sparksian enough for you, then I don't know what else is. Big Hook says can't read lips, John. Okay, so anyhow, there's the Cubby Rose. Hi, muted. Hopefully I'm back on now. Read your tweet. The Cubby Rose says Julie do a voiceover. Chris Welch is giving me a thumbs up. So does that mean you guys can hear me now, right? You can hear me, right? I turned the mic back on. Okay, mic's on. All right. Hope you can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right, we're just coming at you from beautiful downtown Las Vegas. I am actually at the welcome sign right now as we speak. No, not really. But there it is. Welcome to Las Vegas. It's a little blurry shot, but hey, I'm a blurry guy. I'm a blurry kind of guy. Loud and clear says Clear Splash. Okay. All right, so you guys can hear me. Okay. I didn't want to say too much if you couldn't hear me. Because what I have to say is important. This is important shit right here. I don't know what to say. I don't know what's been going on. What have you guys been listening to? What have you been doing? Of course, we got the never-ending drama that is Donald J. Trump. Will this never go away? Will this long national nightmare never end? Well, it will end when he gets his ass kicked in November. So we got that. We got that to look forward to. And he's going to end up in jail or prison or whatever. Some sort of a jail cell, I think, at some point. Maybe not this year, but sometime. The Cubby Rose, you're good now. Big Verizon network. No, when I play the little intro, I always turn the mic off, so you don't hear me in the background slurping coffee and and guffawing or something. I don't know. And so I need to remember to turn it back on when I go back on, if that makes any sense. Jolie says El Stinko farce. Hello. So El Stinko's here. Huh? Did I skip over El Stinko? Oh yeah, there's El Stinko farce. Muted. That's back in the days when I was muted. So long ago. It seems so long ago when I was muted, but now I'm not muted. Now I'm loud and clear. Big Hook, penniless and imprisoned, I hope. Yeah, he needs to die penniless. It would really be poetic justice if he ended up underneath the freeway overpass somewhere, living in a cardboard box, and he had a Sharpie, and on his cardboard box he would write Mar-a-Lago or something. And he's in there, and he's just like, eee. That's how I envision this whole thing going down. Arizona Sunflower says he still has to get the money for his bond. James Bond. No. Yeah. So he's just going to get eaten alive monetarily. And deservedly so. Let's see. Everyone's saying hello still. Hello. Everyone's coming on in. Come on in. We're going to do a 3 p.m. show today also, by the way. In case you can't get enough of this. We'll be on at 3 p.m. But I'm thinking maybe for 3, I might do a live location, out on location, instead of in the studio here, the Trucker John studio. We'll do I was thinking about doing a live remote, trying to see if I can get that. I really haven't monkeyed around too much with that, my new gimbal. So I don't know if I'm going to figure it out. I still haven't really, like I said, I haven't really messed with it since the other day. It's been sitting on my counter. Hopefully I can get it to work. And I was thinking about doing a live from Whataburger. Whataburger. Well, I've heard it pronounced both ways, Whataburger or Whataburger, but it should be Whataburger. It's supposed to be like, what a burger, right? Okay. So anyhow, this, Whataburger, for those of you that don't know, is a hamburger fast food chain that I believe started in somewhere in Texas. And then they've expanded to quite a few locations, I guess, around the country. And they just put one here in Nevada on the Strip. And that is the furthest west location that they have this so far, right? So they're coming out west, and they're here in Vegas, and they're going to put supposedly going to put a few more stores here in Las Vegas. But right now they have one on the Strip, and I haven't gone there yet. So I was thinking about doing a live stream from there this afternoon at 3 p.m. because that's about the time I'll be getting hungry anyhow. So it works out good. And I'll try out a Whataburger, and we'll do it live there, and you guys can watch me eat. I know you love it. Don't you just love it? So that's what's in store for 3 p.m. Pacific time. Just remember, Nevada is Pacific time, and I'm shooting from Nevada. I'm shooting from the hip in Nevada. So that's something to look forward to, I guess. Let's see, what else we got here in the chat? Arizona Sunflowers, he won't and can't be incarcerated. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. People always say that. What are you going to do with this Secret Service detail and blah, blah, blah. I think they should at least throw him in jail for at least a few nights and then say, okay, we'll put you on house arrest. They should make him at least wear an ankle bracelet, and he can never leave the grounds of Mar-a-Lago, I guess. Maybe that's the best we can hope for, Arizona. Maybe, I don't know. But it'd be nice if this, at least throw them in jail for a few nights where they're like setting it all up or whatever, But I don't know why you say he can't be incarcerated. Where does it say that he can't be incarcerated? Where in the Constitution does it say that a president can't be incarcerated? Nowhere is the answer, by the way. Robert Perez, hello, Jolie. Have a great day. What am I, chopped liver? No. Jackie says, I'm not sure what that emoji is. The devil or something? I don't know. Robert Perez says, top of the morning to you, driver, and have a groovy day. Thank you, Robert. I guess I'm not chopped liver after all. Jolie says, yeah, just like the good old days. Like the good old days. Yeah, we'll do some live streams of me eating. That is the good old days, yes. Arizona Sunflowers because of the Social Security, not Social Security, of the Secret Service guys. I'm sure there's a workaround. Give them a cell. Give them an adjoining cell. I don't know. Arizona Sunflowers, they could make him be tethered and be stuck in Mar-a-Lago. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Ankle bracelet. Chris Welch says, drop at a rally would be good. I tried to do that. I was going to do that, but by the time this is my own shortcomings of not planning things out right. A few weeks ago, Trump was in town, or a month ago, or whatever it was, and we were doing a live stream. It was, I think it was a Saturday live stream. And then I realized that he was in town. I was like, hey, after the show, I'm going to go over there and see if I can do anything. But by the time I did that, he'd already started. And by the time I got done with my show and got over there, I think it was already done and over with. And so I missed it. And then I was going to try to find a Biden, because Biden was here a few weeks ago. Actually, he was just here apparently a few days ago. But sometimes he comes in, I don't even know he's here. He doesn't even call me or anything. Joe doesn't. But anyhow, also about a month ago or whatever, Biden was supposed to be doing a rally or a public speech, and they just listed this vague kind of location so I went over there and drove all around. I didn't see anything. I couldn't find out where he was at because I thought that'd be cool too. But so far, I'm trying to find these rallies and stuff. I'm 0 for 2. But yeah, if I ever have a chance to do that, I would for sure fire up the old phone here and go live. We'll do it live. But yeah, anyhow, let's see. Tim Farrell's here. Hi, gang. Hi, gang. Back at you. Tim Farrell, thanks for being here. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Bonnie Thompson says he could be confined to his private wing of Mar-a-Lago. Yeah, but I want him in prison behind bars and just like Alphonse. Alphonse, what a guy! That Alphonse. Yeah, they call him Alphonse. They call him Scarface. I believe they call him Scarface also. You know, Capone, Alphonse Capone. They should put him in a jail cell, just like his little idol. Apparently, that's his idol because he keeps talking about the guy with such admiration because he likes how he didn't take shit apparently and would bludgeon people to death with a baseball bat if they went against him. Big Hook says if SCOTUS somehow gives immunity, we are in a lot of trouble. The Republican budget has cuts to Social Security. Yes, and that would suck. That would suck. But I really, 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 really think that November is going to be a November to remember. I really, really, really think that Joe Biden's going to get more votes this time around than he did last time. And he had, 83 million votes or something? I think he could get 90 this time. And I see Trump's popularity shrinking. I don't think he's going to get anywhere near the votes he got in 2020 when he got what did he get, 60 something million, 60 whatever it was, or I guess he got in the 70s, huh? Because Biden won by 7 million votes or something. So I guess he got like 66 million. I don't think he's going to even get in the 60s. To tell the truth, if the primaries are any indication, I mean, he's winning, but he's winning by a lot smaller margins than he did ever before. So I think he's going to get trounced. I think Trump was going to get trounced in November. I really do. But I know people are hesitant to say that out loud because they don't want people to get complacent and think, oh, okay, he's got it back. I don't got to show up. I don't got to vote. And so, it's all contingent upon people showing up and voting. So let me make that perfectly clear. We got to vote, or my little prediction will not come true. But so anyhow, make sure you vote. Chris Welch is Big Blue Wave. We're gonna Big Blue Wave it. Big Blue Wave. Vote blue if you know what's good for you. Tim Farrell says if he does not go to jail, then the argument that no one is above the law is a farce, and all of his crimes are no longer punishable with jail time for everyone. That's right. It sets precedent, doesn't it? But as far as him going to an actual jail, I mean, I get your point, Arizona Sunflowers. But I think they could do something, I mean, I keep wanting to call them the Social Security detail, the Secret Service detail. Okay, so they got to stand guard out in front of his jail cell. I mean, that's the job, man. They could just have them. They could, they always have special jail cells for high-profile people, usually somewhere, right? And his Secret Service detail, they would just have to sit right out in front of his cell there, And like I said, even if it was just for a few days or a few weeks, and then they said, okay, we're going to put you in house arrest, I don't know. I mean, I ideally, I would like him to just rot in jail for the rest of his life. But I understand your point, Arizona Sunflowers. I mean, people have been saying that where are you going to put an ex-president, But I say, screw him, and yeah, it does present its logistical problems, I suppose. But whatever is going to happen, as far as where he's going to be ending up, incarcerated or not incarcerated, or house arrest, I think he's going to be found guilty in a lot of these charges, right? So they're going to have to do something with him, and they'll probably, I guess, I could see like a house arrest type of thing going on. Tim Farrell says Dems don't steal elections, but Republicans do. I agree with that. I mean, just going back to 2000 and how the Republican-appointed judges, basically just handed the presidency over to Bush, and all their shenanigans, going back to Iran-Contra with Reagan, So I agree, Tim. Hey, there's Alvin Stoops, I bet, like Jeffrey Epstein. Well, Jeffrey Epstein, yeah, he went to prison. He wasn't president, and he didn't have a Secret Service detail to watch over him. Arizona Sunflower says he'll get punished. He's getting punished now, but I don't think he'd get a jail sentence. Yeah, that's sort of conventional wisdom, I guess. But boy, sure, it would be nice to see him get thrown in the who's gal. Arizona Sunflowers, hi Jolie, sending love, or sending love. Tim Frill says 24-hour camera surveillance, make it a reality show. Think of the ratings. Gary Maccabee. The crooked clown Prince of Queens will soon be a pouting pauper, but will probably find a way to stay out of jail. That's a lot of P sounds in that. But thank you, Gary, for being here. I don't know if I've ever seen you here, so thanks for being here. Good to see you. Glad you found the show. Hope you like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. We always appreciate that. But I appreciate you being here. So, and thanks for going in the chat there and contributing to the chat. Gary Maccabee says both Kennedys. About them being assassinated. Yes, absolutely. As far as stealing elections, of course, JFK was already elected, but that preempted any chance of a second term, right? And RFK Sr., who's spinning in his grave right now from his stupid. What is RFK Jr.? He's his son, right? I'm trying to think, was he son or grandson or whatever? But anyhow, yeah, it's his son. So, I mean, he's spinning in his grave, so because his son is such an idiot, and he was, winning primaries and was more than likely going to be the Democratic nominee in '68, and they snuffed him out. I don't give a fuck what Sirhan says, or what people say. It's just too coincidental that, and there's a Nixon connection, and you can't tell me any different. I mean, JFK beat Nixon in 1960, and then JFK ends up getting his head blown off. In '68, RFK's running against Nixon, and then RFK ends up getting his head blown off. His head didn't get blown off, but he got shot in the head, I think, or shot and killed. So the connections are there. I don't think this is a lone gunman type of thing. With Lee Harvey Oswald and Sirhan, I don't believe they were just acting on their own. There's something up with that. But yeah. So anyhow, Arizona Sunflower says if he doesn't come up with the money, his stuff will be getting seized on Monday, I believe. Yeah, I think Letitia has said that she's going to start getting ready to start seizing properties. So yeah, Gary says, howdy, Sugar John. Big Hook says, you could sell tickets to piss on Trump's grave. Business idea, Sugar John. There you go, yeah. Chris Welch says, if he's convicted of a crime, he should lose the detail. I just don't know. You'd have to change laws, right? I guess for that. Tim Yak says, love the Nerd Halen show. Hey, Tim Yak, thanks for being here. Yeah, the Nerd Halen show was awesome. I had a great time. I'm glad I was able to do that for you guys, and I did it for myself too. It wasn't just for you. It was a little bit of selfishness, I guess, because I really love the band, and of course we all love Hal. If you saw my little in the beginning, I put the excerpts from the little kind of like meet and greet I was able to do with Hal. So that was fun, and you know, you could see in there what a nice guy Hal Sparks is. I mean, he didn't know me from Adam. Where's Adam? And he actually, you know, engaged with me and had a good 5-minute conversation of just, you know, kind of like Hal being Hal, just kind of shooting the shit and being funny. And he said hi to you guys, to the Sparklers. He waved to you guys, and it was like a special little hi to you guys. And I think I made him laugh at one point. So I actually made him laugh with a little thing I said, a little joke or something. So, you know, it was cool. I had a great time. It was a really great time. So if you guys ever have a chance to see Nerd Halen, I suggest that you do it. They're going to be traveling around the country, kind of following along with the Sexy Liberal tour, where they're going to try to get dates for Nerd Halen either like a day before or a day after a Sexy Liberal. So if you're able, if something's close by and you're able to do it, I highly suggest it. The Sexy Liberal tour tickets, I think, might be a little pricey for some people. But Nerd Halen, a lot of times they play for free. Like this thing that I went to was a free deal at a lounge. Or their tickets, if they do have ticket prices, are really pretty reasonable. I forget what I paid for. I saw them at the M Resort a little over a year ago. And I don't remember what I paid, actually. I think I paid $40 maybe for a ticket. I think it was around $40. And so, and then they were going to play at the Hard Rock here on the Strip, and then a few months ago, but then I think Caleb came down with COVID or something, so they had to cancel. But I actually bought a ticket for that. I think it was only like $20 or something. So if you have a chance to see Nerd Halen, I highly suggest it. They're a great band, fun band. Especially if you like rock and if you like Van Halen, because they do play, even though they are. You know, that's a nerdy persona. They're Nerd Halen, and they all dress like nerds. And Hal does, you know, some funny little bits. For the most part, they play those songs pretty close. I mean, to Van Halen. They play them pretty straight, even though the whole thing surrounding it is like this funny nerd look. But other than Pretty Woman, which they changed to Nerdy Woman. You know, that song, they actually do change the lyrics, and it is more of a parody, I guess, than a cover. But the rest of the songs are pretty much. I remember I was the other night. There was another song where they sort of changed. They were just doing you know, kind of a Hal Sparks kind of nerdy humor, and they kind of changed a little bit of one of the other songs. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty much, if you like Van Halen, I think Caleb Rappaport, he's the lead guitarist. He fucking kills it on lead guitar. I mean, you know, I don't think I've heard anyone ever play Eddie as well as Caleb, you know, with the exception of maybe Slash, and Slash is just playing Slash. But whenever I listen to Slash do his solos, I'm like, God damn it, this is fucking Eddie, you know. But and I like Slash. I'm not putting that. That's not a put down on Slash. That's a compliment to Slash, because I think he's awesome too. But so anyhow, if you have a chance to see him, they're great. That's all I got to say about that. Gary Maccabee says, I was 6 when JFK was killed. It really left a mark. I was about 3. So I don't remember it. But I will say this, that the ghost of JFK was ever present all through the 60s and even into the early 70s. I mean, so I definitely heard about it. I remember watching the Zapruder film on TV. They would show these like anniversaries of the JFK assassination, and they were actually showing the Zapruder film on television, which they wouldn't do in later years. I mean, if you have to find it now, you have to dig it up on YouTube or on Google it or something. Or, I mean, they were just showing it on like over the air broadcast stations. And I remember watching the Zapruder film and going, oh my God, as I was older, when I was like, 8, 9 years old. And then Robert Kennedy got assassinated. I mean, the 60s were pretty horrible. You had the Vietnam War raging, and you had JFK assassinated. You had Malcolm X assassinated, but to tell the truth, I didn't really even remember that as a little kid. But I do remember MLK, because I remember listening to some of MLK's speeches on the radio as a kid. And then all of a sudden he's assassinated. And I'm like, oh my God, what's going on here? And then RFK's assassinated. I forget who was first, if it was RFK and MLK. I think it was MLK, and then a couple months later it was RFK. And it was like, oh my God. And then every night you're hearing the death counts going on from Vietnam via Walter Cronkite or whoever on the news. And you're getting the war footage from there, which was horrible. And then all these assassinations coming in left and right. And, service people coming back in body bags. And it was really kind of a horrible time in a sense. I mean, that doesn't mean that it was 24/7 horribleness, because nothing really ever is like that. But there was a pall, over that decade from these assassinations, and especially the JFK one. I mean, his presence really did. I could still feel the presence of JFK all through the 60s, from people talking about him still. I mean, from my parents and my friends' parents, and we're still talking about JFK and how awful it was that he was cut down in his prime and still had so much more to give, and he was just, we were robbed of that as a nation, by some, at that point, some asshole, Lee Harvey Oswald. But I think everyone knows that it wasn't just Lee Harvey Oswald. He might not even have been able to. He might have fired the rifle out of that window, but he might not even hit anybody. I'm pretty sure. I really do think it was someone from the grassy knoll. But anyhow, I don't want to get into a big conspiracy thing. But the fact remains the same, that all these assassinations did happen. And lo and behold, these were all, the Kennedys, of course, were Democrats. Apparently, MLK was a registered Republican, but he certainly wasn't a Republican that we would know today. I mean, he was definitely for civil rights. He was a civil rights activist, which is what the Kennedys were about too, about civil rights. So you have these civil rights activists and civil rights, presidents and people running for president that were all being cut down, and so anyhow, it was a kind of a dark time, it really was, when you combine those assassinations and the Vietnam War raging. I mean, really just going full bore. Throughout the mid and late 60s, especially late 60s, man, it was just crazy. And then, so I basically had grown up watching the Vietnam War. I mean, I was born in 1960, and we were sending, we already had advisors over there, I think, by that time. And then we were starting to really ramp things up in the mid 60s as far as deployments and, sending, tens of thousands of troops over there. And it was just raging all the way into the early 70s, when finally Nixon pulls it out of there. And I'm like, I don't know, about 13 years old or so. And before the war ended, I'm thinking, I'm going to be going to Vietnam in a few years. I'm going to get drafted. This thing's not going to end. I didn't see an end. I'm like, is this going to keep going and going? And in a few years, I'm going to be 18, and they're going to draft my ass and send me over there. I was actually, weighing things out. Should I go to Canada? Should I go to Mexico? I don't want to go to Vietnam and get blown apart for some stupid fucking war that I have no idea why we're even over there for. So I was already kind of planning my escape plan, I think, at 13. And then right around then is when finally Nixon pulled us out. And he only did that because the public sentiment was turning against him so much with all the protests. And you could put, people say protests don't work. Well, I think the protests around the college campuses around the country got to be so big, and that it wasn't just college kids. I think it was starting to get into their parents were starting to agree with them. And then Nixon knew he was losing support, so he was like, okay, I guess we better pull out of here. Arizona Sunflower says, fatal chest wound for RFK. Oh, yeah, okay, the Kennedys were great, man. Gary Maccabee, Hal was great. Thanks for bringing it into us. Big Hook says, Hal gave us some singing last night. Oh, yeah, he sure did. He sure did. Arizona Sunflower says, Hal sang for over an hour to us last night after the regular show. It was so awesome. He can sing very well when his voice is warmed up, and I hope he does again sometime. Yeah, he was putting on a little concert last night, a little a cappella concert there. Arizona Sunflower says, Slash wears too much makeup. Well, can you see it? I mean, his face is covered with hair. Big Hook says, I personally think that Tom Hartman and Lamar have figured out who and why, I think you mean JFK was killed. Yeah, I've heard those specials before, and they've written a book on it. Bonnie Thompson said, if Slash wants to be pretty. Arizona Sunflower says, I feel sorry for Jackie, and she kind of freaked out and crawled across the trunk of the car to help JFK in her addled state, covered in husband's blood. Oh, yeah, I mean, she just had her husband's head blown off right next to her, and fragments of his brain matter were on her, Yeah, she, very, she freaked out. Very, it was very, what would you expect otherwise? Big Hook says 13 days about the Cuban Missile Crisis is what Kennedy's were about. Arizona says RFK was a Republican, but very different from today's. RFK was not a Republican. Robert Kennedy was not a Republican. Dem and Republicans work together often, better things. Robert Kennedy was not a Republican. MLK, I think, was a Republican, but RFK was not a Republican. Marie R. I would have gone to Canada. yeah, that's what I was leaning towards too. Dwight Thompson, RFK was a Republican. No, he was not. Big Hook says Nixon fucked LBJ on India and Vietnam. Yeah, I've heard that too, Big Hook. I've heard Tom play those clips of that phone call with Nixon to basically the, I guess, North Vietnamese, whatever their president is called, Barney says, Republicans have been scummy shitbirds since Nixon. Marie R. Love Hal, but his singing, not so much, laughing out loud. Well, singing a cappella is a little tricky over a YouTube stream. Believe me, he sounds much better with a microphone and with a band. Much, much better. Marie R. says, hi, Julie. Julie, hi. But anyhow, so yeah, but we've had this really, like I've always said, this downward trajectory of Republican presidents since Nixon, who was pretty horrible. Of course, Jerry Ford was a clown, idiot, and no one wanted him, so he didn't win. And then we got Carter, was I think a really great guy, and I think he was a good president. Should have gotten a second term. He got, cheated out of it by Reagan with Iran-Contra and all that shit. Then we had 12 fucking shitty years with Reagan and then the first Bush, and they were shitheads. And then we got, Clinton for 8 years. We should have got Gore after that. We should have had But no, Supreme Court gave W the election in 2000. So he got stuck with 8 goddamn years with that clown, with that shit show. And then we were able to climb out of the ditch. The Republicans drove us into the ditch. So we elected Obama. And we were able to climb out of the ditch, get out of that near depression, that we were in, and get us back on track. And then we should have had fucking Hillary, man, just to keep the good things going, keep the good times rolling. But no. What we get? We get a lot of Russia interference, a lot of Russian influence campaigns. It all comes back to Russia when it comes to Trump. Anything Trump related, it all comes back to Russia. That's all I got to say about that. And that's what they're doing it again. They're trying to do it again. In 2020, we said, "Oh no, fuck you," and we all showed up. And that's what we got to do in 2024. We got to all show up. Arizona Sunflower says, protests back then weren't violent like they are now. No guns were usually involved at all. They were pretty peaceful, and sometimes things got changed. The protests now, the only ones that are violent that I see are the ones from the right, like Jan 6. But we've had the women's marches. We've had anti-war protests from the left that weren't violent. The only time violence breaks out is if if it's a right-wing organization that's protesting, or if they send in saboteurs, to try to start shit. But big power trickle down to cheat and steal Republican mantra. Chris West says 2016 was the rigged election. Well, 2016 definitely was the Russian influenced election. Thanks to things like Cambridge Analytica, thanks to, was it Paul Manafort giving the Russians really key polling information, staying in contact with them. That was what was going on. Arizona Sunflower says, sorry, I meant Martin Luther King, and they'd work together, in my humble opinion. Today, the Republicans seem to not care about making the U.S. better or want to actually help people. No, they don't. They don't give a fuck about any of that. All they care about is getting reelected so that they can keep lowering taxes on the ultra rich. That's really their only goal. And everything else they do, like Roe v. Wade or whatever all this attack on women's bodily autonomy, all those kind of social issues are just meant to gin up support because they don't have enough people otherwise. So they have to gin up support. They have to hit these hot button emotional issues. And that's how they get people to vote for them. It's all chicanery. Gary McAfee says, we had Occupy and that wasn't violent. That's right. The Occupy movement, Occupy Wall Street, and the 99%ers, which kind of merged into one eventually, you didn't see violence. I didn't anyhow. And they got some pretty big crowds. And out of that, I think is how we got Bernie Sanders, basically. That really helped him kind of rise to the forefront, I think. That and the Tom Hartman show. And I'm not kidding. Pisces Greeter says hi, Trucker John, hugs. Hey, Pisces Greeter, I can see you still. So that's a good sign. Good to see you. I'm glad that whatever happened, where I couldn't see you, I'm glad that's all been worked out somehow, some way. I don't know how it happened. I don't know how it happened in the first place. I don't know how it resolved itself, but glad you're here. Glad I can see you. Arizona Sunflower says, none of the elections were rigged, in my humble opinion. I am no expert, but yeah, it wasn't rigged in that, as far as votes not getting counted or votes being flipped, or anything like that. But it was definitely a misinformation campaign. That's what they do. And this was done by the Russians. And it did influence enough voters to either not vote, or voters who would normally have voted for a Democrat to vote for Trump. That's my opinion. Now, I'm not calling that vote rigging, because it's not. But I am calling it misinformation campaign or influence campaign, however you want to call it, that did make the difference. I think it did make enough of a difference in these districts, because we have an electoral college. So you don't have to win the popular vote. All you got to do is win certain pockets here and there in these swing states. And we saw what happened in 2016. So that's not... So I'm distinguishing from when people say about vote rigging or election rigging. Yeah, I think what they're talking about is that what the Republicans have been saying, what Trump has been saying about, voting machines not working or voting machines flipping votes. I'm not talking about that, and I don't think any of that really happened. What I'm talking about is influence campaigning, and the Russians are really, really good at it. That's what they do. They do psyops. So that's what was going on, and it was enough to influence the election. They weren't able to do it in 2020 because we were onto them. I think we were able to get the message out enough that we were able to, override that or whatever. So hopefully we can do it again in 2024. Hopefully we don't, forget, as we can be forgetful sometimes. Arizona Sunflower says, hi, Pisces Reader. Big hug and kiss on your cheek. I'm a woman, nothing weird intended. Let's see. Everyone's saying howdy and Heidi and howdy, ho. Big hook. 20,000 votes from an electoral college swung the vote despite Hillary getting 3 million more votes. Yeah, and it was more than 20,000 though. It was actually I think it was about 70 or 80,000 votes in all of those these different little districts throughout a handful of states, like Wisconsin and Pennsylvania and Michigan or whatever. There was these few states where these districts were really pinpointed, because they were able to get this pinpoint. They knew exactly where to go based on the information that Manafort was giving them. Chris Wells says, never forget to remember. Arizona says, they messed around with the elections for sure, especially Putin. He twists all the info around, and the MAGAs believe all that crap. Yeah, and so that's what I'm talking about. When I say that the election, I don't think if I ever said it was rigged, but I have said that the election was influenced by the Russians, and that did cost us. That's what cost us the thing. Now, in retrospect, and I think the Democrats did maybe do a good job of doing the autopsy or whatever, because I think they did learn a big lesson from Hillary losing, and I think they did. I think Biden really did hit these states and didn't take them for granted, because some people are saying that maybe Hillary took that big blue wall kind of for granted and didn't go back and campaign there after she'd won the nomination, and that's when Michael Moore is coming out saying, hey, you're going to lose. I'm talking to the people, and he was one of the only voices that I heard that say Hillary's going to lose. Like, this is like a few months before the election, and he said, especially if she doesn't get out and start coming back to these places here, in these swing states. And he was right. He turned out to be right. And I think the Biden campaign learned from all that shit. And hopefully we'll keep learning and not repeat those mistakes in 2024. Wendy S says hi from Canada. Well, hello, Wendy S. Good to see you in the chat room here. Make sure you hit that thumbs up for me. Like, subscribe, share. Hit the share button. Share the show. Let's grow this show. Let's make the show bigger, better, badder, bouncier. To steal something from, I think, South Park or something. At 3 p.m. we're gonna do a live stream, a live remote from the Las Vegas Strip at the new Whataburger. So you don't want to miss that. 3 p.m. Pacific time. Let's see. We got Wendy S is saying hi. Bonnie Thompson back from the creepy basement. Ooh, that does. Just saying creepy basement makes it seem creepy. Barney Thompson, oh, I already read that. Arizona Sunflowers, it made me angry and frustrated that Trump would say Republican ballots were torn up, thrown in rivers, etc. He just lies and lies and lies. He still does it. And he doesn't care because he knows that even if he's called out on it or if someone fact checks him, his little base, they're not going to hear that. They don't listen to that shit. They don't believe any of that shit. They believe everything that comes out of his mouth is fucking gospel. These MAGAs, or maggots as we like to call them, are they're just all in, hook, line, and sinker with this Trump motherfucker. And so he like he said I could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and they'd still vote for me, and he's fucking absolutely right. But I guess our sort of saving grace is that I think that MAGA base is shrinking. It is getting smaller, and I think that, you know, I've always said that the masses are asses. I made that up. No, I didn't make that up. But what I mean by that is that the ass is so big, such a big, nice round plum. Oh, I don't mean to go off subject. No, the ass is so big that it takes a long time for the information to get around it, to get around this big ass, this big plump juicy ass. Oh, sorry. And so when the information's on one side of the ass, by the time it gets to the other side of the ass, you know, it just takes sometimes years. That's how big this ass is. So that's why I say the masses are asses. It's just, so it's taken a long time for people for some of these maggots to realize what a fucking fuck up piece of shit, undemocratic, unpatriotic, un-American person that Trump is. But I think some of them are starting to peel off. Okay. And so now, to the point where maybe the masses are going to be a nice pear-shaped little, nice round ass. Anyhow, Jolie says, channel memberships and super chats are available, and you can buy me a coffee. Thanks for that reminder, Jolie. Gary Maccabee says, Arizona Sunflowers, if Trump's lips are moving, he is lying. Basically, yeah, that's how you know. Big Hook says mail-in ballots would fix a lot of things. The threat of violence and voter intimidation would end and greater participation would happen. Use Blue Voter Guide to maximize your ballot. Yes, absolutely. And that's why when the Republicans are against something so adamantly, that's usually a good indication that whatever they're against, that you should probably be for it, because they don't like mail-in ballot voting. They don't like that shit because they know it increases voter turnout, and then usually a higher voter turnout usually results in the Democrats winning more elections. So of course they're against it. Tim Yak, Yakety Yak, don't talk yak, is here. Thanks for being here, Tim Yak. A guy in our neighborhood took down his Trump flag and left up the American flag just last week. Well, there you go. See, like I said, they're peeling off, and the big giant ass might turn into a nice little pear-shaped ass. I don't know why I'm going there. Tara Taylor's here. Hey, Jolie. Hey, Wendy. Wendy says Trump is a lard arse. He is very lardy. I bet it's very cottage cheesy-ish, actually. Arizona Sunflower says, I have a doc appointment, so I don't know if I'll be around this afternoon. Don't know how long it'll take, but I'll be with you in spirit anyway. Well, thank you, Arizona Sunflowers, and I hope your appointment goes well. Hope all is well with you over there. And if you can't watch it live, you can always watch it on a replay. Yes, watch those replays. Those are, that's why they have it on there. It's posted up there. You can watch it at a later, at your own convenience, as they like to say. Big Hook says Big Hook. Big Hook says Big Hook. No, Big Hook says not mom mentality. We love mom mentality, but mob mentality is a whole different thing. Mob mentality is a problem. Trump learned it from Hitler. Yeah, he really well, January 6th, right? He can gin up the crowd, right? And I don't even know. I'm not even sure if Trump realized. Maybe I'm giving him a bit of an out here. Just how important or influential his words are, or any president's words are. That's why most presidents, I think, even the bad ones, we've seen them sort of guard what they say a little bit, so as not to cause some sort of national panic or something. But Trump didn't give a fuck about any of that. But I think he's ignorant, and I don't know if he really realized. I mean, he probably thought, yeah, my adoring fans listen to every word I say, but I'm not. I wonder if he really knew, because like he would say, hey, try ivermectin or try, fish cleaner or whatever, to cure yourself of COVID or whatever. When he would just say this shit and then people would do it. I mean, that's an example of how powerful a president, like any president, could say stuff and people would go, oh, well, the president said it. Like even if Biden or Clinton or Obama, they could say stuff, and there would probably be people who go, oh, really? I'm going to try that. So that's that power of the bully pulpit and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm not sure what kind of point I was going with that, but because I was reading, about people putting down their things. So people starting to peel away from him, and because I think like I said, it takes a while for that information to kind of sink in, and for people to say, wait a minute, I can't go on with this anymore. And even that was watching, where he actually had, because he's the one that goes in, he's one of the guys that goes in and interviews like maggots and stuff like that. But he's like, he's like a lefty, right? He's one of us, but he's asking, and he's a very smart young guy, and he knows how to, whenever someone says something, he knows how to very, tactfully just say, well, but Trump said this. What do you think of this? And they're like, what? And there's actually a few videos I watched where there's actually people, he was asking if they would still vote for Trump, and they were like, I don't think I can anymore. So that's kind of a good sign to see some people going, I don't think I can. I think this guy, they're finally waking up to the fact that this Trump is really, really, really not a good person, and definitely not a good American. He doesn't like this country. He doesn't like democracy. That's for sure. He probably likes America in that he could just keep stealing from, but he doesn't like democracy. That's for sure. Let's see here. Pisces Reader says YouTube has a channel called Republican Voters Against Trump, RVAT. I listened to it. People talk against Trump, but voted for him and will not vote for him anymore. Yeah, people are falling away. His MAGA base is shrinking, and that's why I think he's going to get trounced. I think Trump will get trounced in this upcoming election. But like I said, whenever I say it and whenever anybody else says it, we're all hesitant to talk that way because we don't want complacency to set in. We don't want people to just say, "Oh, I don't need to vote. It's in the bag." No. It's not in the bag. You got to vote. You got to vote. Alvin Stu retracted something. Pisces retracted something. Or it was retracted. I don't know what you guys are doing out there. What are you guys saying? Big Hook says, Politics Girl put out a scary video of the 47 agenda under Trump regime along with 2025 project. The Republicans are removing the online 2025 PDF because people are catching on. I didn't see what Politics Girl put out. And I haven't really watched those things about the 47 Agenda and 2025 Project. I've heard people talk about them, and these are just more of their scheming, right? They're just scheming. Tim Yak says ice cream sales have increased in our neighborhood. Is that's a good thing, right? Who doesn't like ice cream? I mean, come on. Is that a Joe Biden reference? Because Joe Biden likes ice cream. I like ice cream. Ice cream. We all scream for ice cream. Wendy S says yes, but none of those presidents were idiots. I'm not sure what that was reference to, but I do think that I think Ronnie Reagan was an idiot. I'm just going to put that out there. I think Ronald Reagan was a fucking idiot. Definitely a clown. I never liked him. Arizona Sunflower says, well, things have already gone wrong and I won't get extensive things done like surgery just to have a couple more years all messed. Well, okay. Hope everything works out for you. Julie says, still loads of Trump flags here in southern Indiana. I bet there are. Terry Taylor says, mail-in voting should be available everywhere. I personally don't trust some of the voting machines in red states. If it's paperless and has no trail, do not use unless it's the only option. I agree, Terry Taylor. I absolutely 100% agree. But mail-in voting in those red states are trying to, they don't want it. So you got to do what you can do. Do the best you can do, I guess. Big Hook says Jordan Klepper is the ultimate Maggots Whisperer interviewer. Yeah, I've watched some of the Jordan Klepper too. And his are funny, are probably more funny. It's coming from the Daily Show and all that stuff. But I like, yeah, they're all good. Arizona Sunflower says all messed up and incapacitated. As long as I can still get around without too much trouble, I'm happy. Yeah, that's kind of the key to happiness, huh? Isn't it? Is being able to have mobility. Pice Greeter says, Sir Taylor, I do not go to the voting polls. I vote at home and put in the ballot box in my town. But yeah, and it's good that you're able to do that. I'm able to do that here in Nevada. I could vote by mail. This last primary, I went ahead and dropped mine off at a drop box. I've done that where I get the mail-in ballot, and a lot of times I end up just dropping it off at a drop box instead of mailing it back in, But I think that's a great way to go. I have no issue whatsoever with mail-in voting. I think it's a great thing. Pice Greer says, Sir Taylor, I do not go to voting polls. Oh, I think I already just read that. Tim Yak, JB loves ice cream. Yes, he does. And I referenced that. Marvin Marie R. Reagan sucked. He did suck. He sucked big time. And he was also a clown and an idiot, in my humble opinion. Pice Greer says, I agree. Marvin Marie R. did not like Reagan. Twilight 83, I don't trust the Republicans to go into the voting booth and do the right thing. My neighbor doesn't like Trump, but will still vote for him because she is Republican. And a lot of people do that. There's a lot of Republicans that don't like Trump that will still vote for Trump because they still like their party better than they like the Democratic Party. And they don't want the Democrats to win. Even though they have a shitty ass representative representing their party in Donald Trump. But the point of this whole thing is that support is peeling off little by little. And even if it's only 3% or 5% or whatever, that when it comes to elections is huge. Huge. It's huge. Bonnie Thompson says, how did half of America get so stupid? I would say Fox News brainwashing and propaganda. That's what I would say. Alvin Stu says, in Illinois, people voted for Nikki Biden dominated. Wait, Nikki Biden? I guess we're not using punctuation. I think it's in Illinois, people voted for Nikki, period. Biden dominated. And I like seeing that Nikki dropped out and she's still getting tens of thousands of votes, you know. Like, it wasn't in Georgia, she got 70-something thousand. Over 70,000 votes, and she had already dropped out weeks before. And those are votes that, you know, Trump is thinking should have gone to him. They didn't. So that's pretty huge to show. Those are people saying, you know what, fuck you, Trump. Those are Republicans. Those aren't just people. Those are Republicans saying, fuck you, Trump, we're not voting for you. And they might not vote for Biden, but they're not going to vote for Trump. And that's the main thing. Big Cook says, Texas won voting box for 2 million voters and inside with video monitoring and limited drop-off hours. Yeah, of course, it's because it's a red state. What do you expect? Terry Taylor says, Pisces, I actually go to the election office here and drop it there. The office is pretty close. Yeah, that's what I do. I have a drop-off, like my last election, it's just like one street over at the community center. So I just filled mine out and put it in the drop box. Easy peasy. And I still got a sticker and everything. Speaking of which, I've got one right here. I keep it handy. Just for such occasions as today, as we're talking about voting. And there you go. There's one there. And here's one over here. There you go. There, I voted. And that's just to urge everyone to vote. Keep voting. Voting as many times as you can. Vote and vote blue if you know it's good for you. There you go. Let's see here. Howie Z says, Republicans have long history of shooting themselves in the foot. They say that a lot about Democrats too. So, about Democrats, what is it, snatching the victory out of the claw thingy? I don't know. I can't remember. Hey, there's Tawada 106 at Pisces Greeter TK. Greetings and salutations. I'm in beautiful California and not faking Japan now. So happy. So happy. Well, good to see you, Tawada 106. Thanks for being here. By the way, make sure you like, subscribe, share. Give me those shares. Give me those likes. Give me those subscribes. All that good stuff. Yes, all some good stuff. And just want to say to all y'all, there we go. To all y'all, it's taking this time. Thank you very much for being here. Goes out to everybody. There's Reagan was an actor, not a president. I think people voted for, and he was a shitty actor. I think people voted for the smart, strong person they saw on the big screen, and that was what they got, an actor. Well, let me tell you something. Ronald Reagan was a B actor, and then he became the governor of California, and that does give you some, you know, cred or whatever. You know, he was California, I think 2-term California governor, you know, and so, yeah, he was an actor. He was a Screen Actors Guild president for quite a few years, and he was governor of California, but he stayed in politics. He was out of, he hadn't been in the governor for quite a few years when he decided, he ran in 76. He dropped out early in that because he was getting his ass kicked, and then he came back in 80 and won it. So these guys, they don't quit though. I gotta give them that. Nixon didn't quit. Reagan didn't quit. If they get any kind of power or backing behind them, you know, like Reagan was getting some pretty powerful people to back him, and that's what, you know, those are the people that really did the whole Iran-Contra thing, you know, for him. And I don't think in 1980 people were thinking of him. I don't know if his acting really played that much into it, to tell the truth. he had been a California governor, and he had been involved in Republican politics for a couple decades at that point. And I think he was really kind of more known for his politics and being a political person, even though he hadn't held office since his governorship. Like in the late 60s and stuff. So I don't really, I know he was an actor, and he did a lot of stuff. His acting was mainly back in the 40s and 50s, I think. So it wasn't like Trump, who was kind of coming straight off of like The Apprentice, and we really only knew Trump from either The Apprentice or from gossip columns and gossip shows like Access Hollywood or whatever. Even that tape, the Pussy tape, notwithstanding. I mean, he was always on. They were always talking about him and Ivana, and his things with Marla Maples. All that stuff was big gossip news from the 80s and 90s and stuff. That's what we knew him. That's what we knew Trump from. It was kind of different than Reagan. Reagan was like a political, more known as a Republican political person than as an actor. Even though we knew he was an actor, and we knew he did, probably his biggest movie was like Bedtime for Bonzo or Gonzo or whatever the fuck, about the monkey. That might have been his biggest one. I don't know. But that was back in the 40s, I think, or 50s. Way before the 1980 election. So I think it's a little bit different than just because he was an actor. Bedtime for Bonzo, Crimson says. How can you hate on someone who did Bedtime for Bonzo? Right. Barney Tom says, Ronald Reagan is the grandfather of MAGA. Woody S. says, Midas. Kevin Anderson, I guess that's some sort of virtual hug or something. Terry Taylor says, Reagan was a puppet for the rich and destroyed the middle class. Exactly. Patrick Greer says, if I had to pick one, I guess. No, if I had to pick, like, when you guys don't use punctuation, it really throws me off. I choose Reagan, an actor, was better than being a president, not saying a lot better, an actor. He was horrible at both, so let's put it that way. Tawada says, Reagan had his big money backers making him the biatch. Yeah, exactly, that's what I said. He got powerful people behind him to make that second run in 1980. Howie Z says, I think it's safe to say actors make shitty presidents, laughing out loud. National Enquirer, when he was, Trump was always in the National Enquirer, but every gossip mag, whether it was People Magazine or, and all the gossip shows, there's more than one gossip, there's more than Access Hollywood, right? There's Entertainment Tonight, all that shit. He was always on there about some sort of marriage or divorce or an affair, And this is going back to the 80s. That's how we knew Donald Trump. That's the only reason we knew Donald Trump, was because of all the gossip columns and gossip rags and gossip shows. He made sure that he was on those shows by doing, I guess, stuff that we get on there. Arizona Sunflower says, not really, Chugger John. The main thing is vote blue. If you don't vote at all or vote for someone who isn't running, it's a waste. Vote blue, show you're true. My dorky slogan. I don't know what the not really thing is. I say vote blue if you know what's good for you. So I think that's good enough. Let's see, there was such beautiful weather here in Tawada, says it. Up there in California. Because it's apparently Nancy sucked him off good and took all of his ethics and morals with it. He was a real piece of shit, cut taxes and shouldered the burden of on the middle class, poor and senior citizens. Yeah, he was awful. Reagan was awful. Let's not twist it. Reagan was a piece of shit. Marvy Marie R says, Steph, hope you feel better. How is he? Hi, Jolie. Tawada 106. To be fair, the really good politicians are really good actors. I don't know about that. Study B2 says, thanks everyone from 87 pounds of me. Wendy S says, I guess virtual hug. At Stephanie B2, I used, I don't know, Heart Chat when I was in the hospital last fall. I never felt alone. Feel better soon, sweetheart. Midas Kevin Anderson. Hey, there's Midas Kevin Anderson. Says it's funny that Bedtime for Bonzo came out because that's what parents say when kids are sleepy. Okay, it's bedtime for Bonzo. Laughing out loud. My parents never said that to me ever, so I don't know. Maybe they said it in the 40s or something, but I was a kid in the 60s, so not once did my parents ever say it's bedtime for Bonzo. Not once. Pastor Greer says, I feel the Republican Party are good actors, meaning there is a lot of drama in that party, laughing out loud. There could be a lot of drama, but they are pretty shitty actors, I think. Wendy S says, ooh, see another. Letitia is getting ready to seize assets. Yep, she's going to do it. W2 says, 5'6", I look like a skeleton. Bonnie Thompson, thanks, Wendy S, for the info. Pastor Breeder says, thank you, Wendy S, for the info. Appreciate it. So anyhow, I think we all agree that Ronnie Reagan was a piece of shit. Okay, all right, and it just got worse from there. H.W. Bush, piece of shit. W, piece of shit. Trump, piece of shit. They're all shit. Marvy Marie R says election interference. It's all rigged. What do you mean it's all rigged? Look, they play games, no doubt about it. They play games to influence voters. I agree with you there. But as far as it's all rigged, I don't know about that. Terry Taylor says he was responsible for seniors paying taxes on their Social Security. We're talking about Reagan now. Why is it still a thing? That should be ended. I agree, absolutely. Maybe if we can get a White House, a Congress, a House and a Senate, a filibuster-proof Senate, and a majority in the House of Democrats, then maybe we can get something like that done. Maybe we can reverse that. Maybe we can get someone like Elizabeth Warren. Someday I'll learn how to talk. To get the ball rolling on that. Her and Bernie or something. That's why we need to vote. Vote blue if you know it's good for you, so that we can get things like repealing that stupid double tax on Social Security, because you've already paid into taxes, and now you're going to pay taxes again on this money that you've already paid taxes on. So that needs to be done away with. I was going to say, getting rid of the electoral college, that's going to be a really, really tough one, since you need to get the majority of how many states, is it 3/4 of the states or whatever have to agree to that? But there's other things we need to do. I think Medicare for all, or at least a public option, we need to get that in there. Tawada says, my parents never said that. We just took naps with our grandparents or grandparents. Crimson 66 said, my parents used that expression, and I said that to my kids. I never did. So there. Howie Z says, Steph, I am on the other end of the spectrum, 6'4", 280, 11 I bump my head a lot. Yeah, you gotta stoop. You gotta stoop down. You gotta hunch. Big Hook says, let's hope Letitia takes Bedminster first and exhumes Ivana and finds the missing secret documents. Yeah, wouldn't that be something? 106, however, when you believe government is the problem, of course you will suck at your job. Yeah, that's right. The Republicans are always saying how bad the government is, and then they want to make sure that it's bad, I guess. Midas Kevin Anderson says the only good president is a Democrat. Well, I think at least during my lifetime, I was born in 1960, and I haven't seen a good Republican president yet. People say Nixon was good with the environment, and okay, so maybe he did some good things, but overall he was a pretty shitty person. you know, Gerald Ford was the clown. Reagan, of course, yeah, like we've talked, you know, destroying the middle class, destroying unions, all that, you know. H.W. Bush, just an extension of Reagan, really. His son W, just a moron, got us into the unnecessary wars. And of course Trump, just mishandling COVID, responsible for at least 500,000 deaths, probably just from his inactions. You know, yeah. So it just goes on and on and on. They at least within my lifetime, the Republican presidents have been horrible, and the Democratic presidents, while not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, have been immensely better. And you know, I think pretty good human beings. Okay, you say Clinton was an asshole because he was cheating on Hillary, and then some people will say, well, blowjob isn't cheating, or whatever, you know. Yeah, but still, I think, you know, Clinton was like a, you know, sort of a sex hound or whatever. I don't think he was a horrible person. I think Obama was a really great guy. I think Biden's a really great guy, you know. I think Jimmy Carter was a really awesome guy, you know. Going way back to 1960 with Kennedy, I mean, I think Kennedy was a good man, a good person, but he was a philanderer, right? He was cheating on Jackie left and fucking right, man. I mean, so he wasn't perfect. That's what I'm saying, that these guys aren't perfect. It seems like most of their foibles are like sex related, you know, like they like to play around, especially Kennedy and Clinton. And I think Obama and you know, really learned, like, well, for one thing, Michelle will kick his ass if he ever did anything. But I think the Democrats as a whole kind of are like, okay, look, we need to have a candidate that's squeaky clean and isn't going to fuck around, you know, and so we don't have to deal with that fucking shit. And so I think, so that's what we got with Obama, someone who seemed to be very, very, very loyal to his wife, and wasn't like a player, you know, like Clinton was. And then you have Biden, you know, who's, of course, you know, he's an old guy now, but like throughout his life, I've never really heard of him, you know, playing around and cheating on Jill or anything like that. So, you know, so I think the Democratic Party as a party has kind of learned, like, hey, look, that's an important issue. You know, is this person going to end up, you know, in the news because of all these, you know, affairs and things. Lydia says, if I wasn't married, I'd be on welfare. Terry Taylor says, the popular vote compact just needs a couple more states to make. Yeah, that's true. I thought that they had gotten it. I thought, who put out was it Michael Moore or somebody just put out a video like a week ago or so? I didn't watch it, but I saw the headline. I'm one of those people. I just read the headlines. But I thought they had gotten enough votes, but maybe they're just a couple shy. So that would be nice if that goes through. Marty Marie R. 1950 here. Tawana 106. I don't know whether the cat is black or white. If it catches mice, it's a good cat. I just want government to work, right? Howie Z says, Democrats never throw a stick in the wheel of progress like Republicans do. Yeah, I guess that's maybe true. I don't know. Wendy S. retracted something. 2 out of 106, BJ is cheating, full stop. I'm just saying, you know, some people argue that it's not, but whatever. Terry Taylor says, Wendy, and then smiling. I don't know. Big Hook says, Obama fucked with Flint, Michigan water crisis, but was overall better than most. I don't understand that. I don't understand why, yeah, that I remember seeing that in the Michael Moore film. And that was one thing that kind of fucked my head up. I was like, because I didn't really remember that happening when it happened in real time. I saw it in the Michael Moore, I forget which film that was, but I didn't understand that. What that whole thing was really weird to me. How as he said, lots of stress comes with the job. 2 out of 106. Holy hey. Can you imagine feeling the wrath of Michelle? Minus Kevin Anderson says, Republicans found a fault with Obama once. Was that the tan suit? Terry Taylor says, right, Big Hook. What was that all about? Lost some respect for him after that. Yeah, I know. I when I saw that, I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, I don't get what that was. I don't get that either. Marvin Marie R says Trump loves fascists. He wants total control. Yeah, he loves them because he wants to be one. Those are the people he looks up to. Those are who he wants to emulate. And I think I do think that when we see that little peeling away of the MAGA base, I think they're seeing that little by little. Now, don't get me wrong. You guys are going to be like, oh, he still has all this big support. And yeah, he does. But it's peeling away little tiny slivers at a time. And I think that's part of it. It's like they're finally seeing how, he doesn't like democracy. He doesn't like the Constitution. He wants to tear it up so that he can be a dictator for more than just one day. And I think a little by little sliver by sliver, that support is kind of peeling away. Terry says, well, if that's true, John, that's excellent news. I'll have to look at Michael Moore's page. Well, don't quote me on that. I'm not sure if it was Michael Moore. I just remember seeing a video popped up somewhere on YouTube about, and I thought the headline was something about they've got enough now to do it. But I didn't watch it. And I don't remember who it was. And I don't know if it was Michael Moore. So I'm pretty useless. But if we did, I suppose we could do is just a general search, either a Google search or a YouTube search. And maybe just search Interstate Compact or whatever? And then it'll probably pop up. Big Hook, we still haven't passed the ERA. And you can thank the Republicans for that. I'm going to need to get some water in a second here. I'm very thirsty again. Wendy says, Michael Moore should investigate and make a movie on Trump, Jared, et al. Corruption. Yeah, I wonder. He hasn't really done anything in a while. I wonder if he's working on something. How is he? Says, Wendy, why is he not doing that? Midas Kevin Anderson says, you remember the time when Republicans squeezed his messages together and made it sound like there's my wife Mike over there? Oh, I've seen those stupid videos, some of those videos. I know, that's just so stupid, so ridiculous. Crimson 66 says, why, Wendy S., I think he's working on one. He snuck into Mar-a-Lago a couple years ago. Surf Psych wants to be worshipped, maybe would prefer being God. Hey, Surf Psych, by the way, thanks for being here. I don't think I've seen you in here before, so just want to say hi to you. And I hope you give me a like, a subscribe, and share the show out so we can get plenty of people to come in and just shoot the shit. We're just shooting the shit here. This is basically a shoot the shit show. Ooh, I said shit show. But it's not a shit show, hopefully. But it's a shoot the shit show. I'm digging myself further and further down, aren't I? But thanks for being here, Surf Psych. Midas Kevin Anderson says, and then the media broke out with is Obama gay? To which most of us on the left said, who gives a fuck if he's gay? Who gives a fuck if Michelle Obama is a man? And who gives a fuck if Obama's gay? We don't give a fuck about any of that shit anyhow, even though it's all bullshit. But we really don't give a fuck. If you're a good person, you're a good person. You know? Terry says, sadly, a true big hook. Murphy Marie R says, Trump's BS is the Christians, such fools they be. Pice Creator says, sorry, Trump's parents should have used protection when they had Trump, because now look at what we're all going through with him in this world stinks. It stinks, but you can still find places where it doesn't stink so bad. Churchill says, yep, I'll look into it, John. That should be big news. Yeah, look into that, because I can't do it right now. I guess I could. Barney Thompson says, if only the Republican Party go the way of the Whigs and be replaced by a center-left party. Well, you know what? Whatever it gets replaced with, it's not going to be center-left. Okay? It just isn't. Because the oligarchs, the multi-billionaires and multi-millionaires, they still need to have a party that's going to be working on getting lower taxes for them and lower regulations so they can just operate their businesses with as little regulation as possible. They're still going to need that. So whatever pops up, it's going to just be the Republican Party by another name, but without all the MAGA shit. You know, it'll be back to the Reagan shit probably. So don't think it would be nice if we had, I guess, two major parties that were center-left. I consider the Democratic Party to be left to center, even though we have moderates or whatever the fuck that means. But it ain't gonna happen. Why have two left-leaning parties, major parties? That's not gonna happen. It's gonna be replaced with another right-wing party. I'm sorry, but they're gonna just divest themselves of all things Trump, and they're gonna be back to being very Reagan like probably. But they won't mention Reagan either, because you know, but whatever it is, it's gonna be something for rich people. It's not gonna be for the middle class and working class for sure. Tawada 106 says, I wish I were gay. Well, just be gay then. I don't know. Dog in Paradise says, hello, truckers. This is a nice surprise. Well, hey, thanks for being here. Thanks for dropping on in. I'm here every Tuesday, Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Everyone. I've been doing it for a couple years now. Over 2 years, I think. 9 a.m. Pacific time right here on YouTube. And also Twitch and Facebook. We do a multicast. And I will be on again at 3 p.m. Pacific time doing a live remote from Whataburger. You don't want to miss that. And I'm also on Saturdays right after Hal at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Remember, I'm always in the Pacific time. Unless I'm on the road, which I haven't been on the road, like on the road, in traveling to different time zones. And I haven't done that for over a year now. So, but hey, thanks for being here, Dog in Paradise. Good to see you. Wendy says, you're an international shoot the shit show. Yes, something like that. Howie Z says, it's how they own the libs, John. Childish taunts. Yeah, I guess try to trigger everybody. Arizona Sunflower says, Putin's killing off some of the oligarchs he doesn't trust. Yeah, it's just like Goodfellas, isn't it? You know, he's just like Jimmy in Goodfellas. Let's see. A lot of the greetings going on here. Donna O at Dog in Paradise. Hello, I am a former truck driver. Hello, Donna O. As am I. I guess I'm former because I haven't driven in like over a year. And as far as, you know, Class A, big truck, big rig truck. But my CDL is still active and good. So, you know, there's that. Marvin Marie R says, it's great to be straight. And then, hey, whatever floats your boat, man. Straight, gay, bi, anything in between. You know, you do you, boo. So everybody's saying hi. Let me just check. I'm going to check the other streams real quick. Let's see how they're doing. Let's check in with... I'm going to check in with Let's see how Twitch is doing. My poor little Twitch account. It really doesn't get anyone over there, it seems like. I really don't know how to work. I can barely work YouTube, so. But it looks like it's up and running. I do have. It looks like I got some new followers over there. Looks like I got 3 new followers. No one's watching the. No one's watching the stream over there. Looks like it says 0 viewers, but I have 9 followers now. When I think I only had 2 the other day. So Twitch is growing by leaps and bounds. I'm not very good at math, but going from like 2 to 9, that sounds like a pretty good percentage boost. I got Softball Paul and Cosmic Rose and Mom's Russo. 3 new followers right there. So that's cool. The only one watching, though, of course, is Jolie. I'm going to say hi to Jolie real quick over there. Because she looks so lonely over there in that chat. That's a lonely chat, isn't it, Jolie? But yeah, I got Stargal46, Marie G55. So those are all new. More sparklers, Jolie says. All right, so we got some sparklers, I guess, over there. Hi. Jolie says hi in the Twitch chat. So, but I mean, it's kind of just I'm kind of disappointed. There's only 1 viewer, and that was Jolie. You know, but I am kind of excited that I'm up to 9 followers over there. And you might say, 9 followers? Why are you excited about that? Well, like I said, when you go from 2 to 9 in like a day or something, that's phenomenal. So thank you, new Twitch followers. Hopefully you guys will watch more over there. Now Facebook is weird because I have, and I've intentionally not trying to grow my channel over there. Like I've just kept it mainly to friends and family, and so I have like 300 followers or whatever. But no one ever watches this live stream over there either. And you would think that, I don't know, maybe a cousin or, you know, some family member or an old schoolmate would go, hey, I think I'll check out Trucker John. Or not. I guess they don't know me as Trucker John. They just know me as John. But they would say, hey, maybe we'll just check out his live stream, give it a like, watch it for a couple minutes and leave. You know, you'd think I would at least get that. But I don't even get that, I don't think. Which is weird. Because whenever somebody live streams in Facebook, I have some family members or friends that do live streams over there. And I always go on and I give them a like and I give a comment and I'll watch it for a little while. I always do that shit. But do you think they do it back to me? You think they return the favor? Fuck no, they don't. I don't know why. I don't get it. So now I'm over, I see that the Facebook feed is going. It looks choppy to me. I don't like, I kind of don't like Facebook. I really do like YouTube the best. It just seems to work the best. I'm going to say hi to Jolie over here in Facebook too. Because it looks like Jolie's the only one over there too. For some reason. And I don't get it. I don't really get it. Like I said, I've got lots of family and friends. You think they would just dip in there for a couple of minutes, you know? And, but they don't. So either they all hate me, my so-called family and friends, they all hate me, or there's just something wrong with the Facebook algorithm, you know, where it doesn't. And now it's not even playing. See, now it's just frozen over here on Facebook. So that's why I hate Facebook. And this is my equipment. I don't know, but it's stupid. You know? Hopefully I'm still on, because now I'm not even seeing me on here. Okay, here it goes. I do see that Surrender Monkey jumped in here. About time you got here, old chap. Good to see you. Gary McAfee, the Sparkler Tribe is widespread. Yes. Dr. Paradise, I don't use Twitch, but I'll give you my free Amazon subscription if you like. Oh, that'd be awesome. Let's see, Serena Monkey. Hi, Trucker John. Yes, hello, Chuck. Hello, Trucker. I almost called you Trucker John. I'm Trucker John. Hello, Serena Monkey. How you doing? Good to see you there. So now I'm back on YouTube. I'm not looking at the YouTube chat. Twitch is growing, so we went from 2 to 9, which is awesome. Facebook is just it's just a foobar, man. I don't get Facebook. Come on, Zuckerberg. What the fuck, dude? Get your shit together. You know, you want to compete with the big boys? Then fucking get your shit together, Zuckerberg. Stop putting out crap. Big Hook says, Serena Monkey, is Kate still missing in action? We all want to know. We're all dying to know. What's going on with Kate? Wendy, yes, I pretty much quit Facebook after he had a meeting with 45, lost all respect, but told me all I needed to know about Meta. Yeah, they're all pretty much dirtbags, you know, like Zuckerberg and of course Musk and Bezos. They're all assholes, man. They really, really are. Hey, there's Suzanne Farisepi. Hey, everyone. Hello, Suzanne. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing okay. Big Hook says the messenger function with video chat is what keeps me there as family prefers it. Yeah, that's really the only reason I stay on Facebook, is I got so much family and friends on there and stuff. It's more like a family thing, you know. Wendy S says, Serena Monkey, you're in the UK. Jackie says, Suzanne Farisepi, hello neighbor, good to see you. Terry Taylor says, I rarely go on Facebook anymore. The only reason I do is to post political information and to check in with friends there. Yeah, and I'm not expecting or asking all you guys to jump over to Facebook. I'm just saying it's weird to me how I have, I think, 300 followers, and I mean, a lot of those are just family members and like old high school friends and stuff, and not a single one of them jumps on there. Not one. And I don't get it. Because they'll see other posts of mine and they'll like it, or they'll say, maybe they'll drop a comment or something. So I know I'm not completely invisible on Facebook, but I feel like my live streams are invisible for some reason. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not talking about you guys going to Facebook. If you prefer YouTube, stay on YouTube. Or if you like to go to Twitch, go to Twitch. I'm not asking you guys. I'm just saying something's up with Facebook. That's why I'm blaming Zuckerberg for having a shitty product, because I don't think they're seeing that I'm going live. Out of the 300 people that follow me over there, they should be seeing that. And you would think at least 5 or 10 people would jump on there, even just for a couple minutes. But they don't. It's 0. So when you're getting 0, that's when things get suspect. And that's why I'm calling out Zuckerberg for being a dipshit. He acts like he's so smart, but he's not. I think he's a moron. If you can't get the Trucker John live stream up and running and to where people are seeing it, then you must be a moron, Zuckerberg. I'm talking to you, Zuckerberg. Anyhow. Big Hook, the messenger function with video chat is... Okay, I read that. Arizona Sunflower says, how do you get rid of muscle cramps? Lots of water? I thought there was something about eating a banana or something. Potassium, maybe? I don't know. And stretching. Swinner Monkey says, laugh out loud, I have no idea. I don't watch TV at all. I only found out she's AWOL yesterday. And it wasn't your turn to watch her, was it? Swinner Monkey. Arizona Sunflower says hardly anyone goes on Facebook anymore. It's not very popular anymore. But that's, yeah, I already explained what I was talking about. Like I'm saying, I wasn't expecting you guys to jump over there. I'm just saying, of all the people that are on there, it's just weird that no one goes on there. I'm not expecting all 319 of my followers, however many it is, to all go and watch it. I'm just saying it's just really, really weird that no one goes on there. No one. Zero. That is a red flag that there's something wrong with their algorithm or something. And my settings for that are all put on public, so it should go out. It's not on any type of private setting. It should all be going out. And so I'm calling out Facebook or Meta or Zuckerberg or whatever. I'm not putting it on you guys to go over there. I'm just saying that it is very, very highly suspect why out of 300 followers, 0 go on there. You would expect at least 1 would go on there, but I get 0. It doesn't make sense. So my point is something is wrong with the Facebook algorithm or however the fuck they do it. Joy says, I still like Facebook because posting completely unimportant information about my life that I feel everyone needs to know. Big Hook says, all posts with news articles are removed by Facebook in Canada because Zuck doesn't want to pay news outlets. Serena Monkey says, it says on the Sunflowers, a friend of mine recommended salt for uncle cramps. I think he meant muscle cramps. Maybe in England they call them uncle cramps. I don't know. Arizona Sunflowers, I don't have any right now. Wendy S says, drink some Pedialyte too. Julie says, I think Facebook live streams are weird and awkward to chat in. The setup is strange. Arizona says, no bananas. Yes, I have no bananas today. Arizona Sunflowers, people use it for family photos mostly on my Facebook. Uh-oh. Someone was knocking. Let me go check. I don't know if that was my door or the neighbor's door. And if that might be maintenance. So we might be putting it into the show here. Let me go check real quick. All right, guys, so that is maintenance. They're going to come back in a few minutes. They have to repair. There was a plumbing issue, if you guys recall, from the upstairs neighbors, and they had a leaky pipe or whatever, and it was leaking down in through my ceiling. And so last week, I guess it was last week, a maintenance guy cut a hole in in the ceiling just to make sure the water drained out and dried up and stuff. Now another maintenance guy's here, and he's going to repair the hole that they made. So they're going to be doing that. And we are almost at 2 hours anyhow. So we'll probably be putting this to an end in the next few minutes here. Because they're probably going to be making all kinds of noise. You know, they're very noisy guys. But which is fine. So I guess we'll go ahead and put an end to this. And wow, the feed on here is so behind, I guess. But anyhow, do you have a warrant? Is that John's plumber? That is a maintenance person from the apartment or a contractor. You need Boston, Brian. Yeah, well, like I said, he's in Boston. I'm in Nevada. It's a pretty far drive or pretty far fly or whatever. But I know you're just joking. I know. Midas says, I remember when Zuckerberg pulled a prank on April Fools by showing an online commercial. Gary Maccabee, hot's on the left, cold is on the left, paydays on Friday. All you need to know is to be a plumber. Cold on the right. Arizona Sunflowers, I don't have any of those things. I have turmeric beets, gummies, nothing for muscle cramps. Isn't it like Midol or something? I don't know. Anyhow, I don't know. I can't help you, Arizona. Sorry, I came up with bananas. That's all I got. Bananas and stretching and so. Talking Bear says, I can't find the subscription button on Twitch anymore. I did it for Hal a few times and it was really obvious, but there isn't one on your page. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I have to have more followers or something. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know about all the Twitch rules either. So, but thanks for giving it a shot. Hopefully, I think you could follow. I mean, I don't think, or you don't have to subscribe. I think you could follow. Anyhow, Arizona Sunflowers, they just came over the border, I bet, according to Trump. Yeah, I don't know. But anyhow, guys, okay, so I guess we'll go ahead and put it into this. Remember, vote blue if you know what's good for you, or any of the other iterations that some of you folks have suggested. Let's make a big blue giant tsunami wave. Let's make sure that we trounce Trump. I'm going to start saying that. I like that. Trounce Trump. Let's trounce Trump in 24. It's work in progress. Let's see what else is going on. 3 p.m. Pacific time. Let's meet back here at the old YouTube channel, Trucker John. I'll be doing a live remote from Whataburger. You don't want to miss that. 3 p.m. Pacific time. And then from there, that'll be like an hour lead-in show to Hal, who I believe is coming on at 4 p.m. today. And then I'll see you guys Saturday, 11 a.m. Pacific time, or right after Hal's show. So it's approximately 11, but whenever Hal ends his show, then we'll start our show. And that's basically what we got lined up. Today I'll be using the new gimbal. Hopefully I got it worked out. I'm not sure if I do. So you might want to check that out just to see the hilarity that might ensue using that new gimbal. You know, I don't know. But anyhow, guys, you guys take care. Jolie says Trucker John has membership super chats, and you can show by subscribing, liking, sharing, and buy me a coffee. That's awesome. I want to thank you guys so much. The show has grown so much. We're at 1,600 subscribers now, which is awesome. It just seems like not too long ago I was only at like 300 or even less for so long. Now we're at 1,600. So thank you so much. It's because of your support. It's because you're on here, you're chatting, you're liking, you're subscribing, you're sharing, you're watching. You got our watch hours are up. It's all because of you guys. It's all because of you guys. And I thank you so much, and I owe it all to you. So let's just keep coming back, keep sharing, keep liking, keep subscribing. And also, let's keep stretching. Because, you don't want to pull a hammy. my real, true self. Trucker John is a monkey. There's a taco cat on the dashboard. Hey, it's me again.